Technology screens. Wait, damn my voice back a little bit here. All right. Let's see. Just got to confirm from Lowe's where I placed the order for the lumber to start building the ultimate gamer screen is going today, which is fantastic. I'm thinking Saturday, Sunday. No, it's going to be here today, which is good that I was able to get the other screen painted upstairs because that would have clashed in with me building this screen right here, which I said God works every. Good thing we had enough paint yesterday to finish the screen. So we have that one upstairs on the big boy display right now because that screen takes 3 projectors. I'm going to come back for this one. But I got to go upstairs and get my stand anyway. So this will give me a chance to show you what's going on upstairs. So I told you that I wanted to map out the screen upstairs. This is the other setup we have down here. This is that ceiling and acoustic screen setup we have on the website. You can get this around like $650 or something like that. It's not around that price. Get the acoustic screen for 150 inch, and you get a gallon of the Phantom that allows you to paint your ceiling to get that kind of display. But let me show you what's going on upstairs. So we got the whole entire wall filled out. Then I got to come back downstairs. I got to take apart the Elite screen because, like I said, lumber comes today, and they're early. So I'm going to start building this thing right away as fast as possible. So at least I can get it primed. So there's the other screen right there on full display using the short throw NEC because now that room in there has to be dismantled to get ready for the paint job for that room. It's going to be a customized paint job. The floor has to be done. The simulator has to be built. So all that has to be constructed at that particular time. Lowe's dropping off the wood today is kind of a test run to see if I can deliver ordered stuff, get it shipped in right away to the house. We can start building. Everything works out. It gets here on time. I get used to that same routine run. We can start shipping lumber in and out of the house to start building. But this is done. So this setup is going to have, oh, I should get the brackets while I was down there. Think about it. I got to go online and get those now. So this setup in here, we're going to have 3 projectors running on the screen, maybe 4. We have the portrait mode here for the computer, and we're not using this. This projector is going to be mounted up there, so that way I don't have to worry about this being in the way. That's gone. This is, unfortunately, it's going to stay here on the floor, but we're going to use it for large displays only. Not really going to get in my way anyway. Once I drop my chair back here, I'm good. This is going to be for some retro gaming, anime, whatever I want. Big screen, nighttime mode. This is what this is going to be for. And then in the morning, we'll have the other ones on display. This is the call. We're going to have this nighttime mode. We're going to have this daytime mode. Back and forth. That's funny. And I'm not even going to open a can of old worms or anything here, but, you know, if I display a screen, if I design a room strictly for just lights out viewing for my customers, we have people that will complain about that and say, oh, no, your stuff is supposed to be. I'm walking through my screen, I got screens display on my ceiling. All these technology you see here has been in maxed out zones, which means it has been environments with tons of ambient light hitting the screen. So yeah, if I want to do a demonstration with a room with lights out only, I have that option because the rest of my house, screens are lit. All right, but I had some people come in and say, oh, but that's not fair. You call yourself so and so and so. I have screens that run outside, screens that run inside. So yeah, I can do this. So this is going to be the lights out zone right here. Strictly for lights out, for demonstrations, because I get customers always ask me, at the end of the day, some people, not customers will say this, but usually a particular individual will say this. They'll say that, oh, you have lights out. Big deal. I do so many lights on, it's insane. So I do have a right every once in a while to design a room for lights out. But anyway, getting back to this. Then I have customers that will come and ask me, customers, not the naysayers, customers will come and say, oh, you have any videos with the lights out? Here we go. This is what this room is going to be for, this section. So this is going to be pretty cool. NEC 720p projector on the floor. Guess how much I paid for this one? $129. That's it. So I paid for it. That's the whole purpose. You don't spend all this money. People spend all this money for these projectors, and they got these screens that can't even produce. I see it all day long. They got these screens, I'm saying y'all, but saying guys and y'all, but they have these screens that can't even produce properly. And I got to clean all this up. So that's how it looks on a big screen display. So we got a big screen display. I'm gonna bring my PC in here. No. Oh yeah, because we got to disassemble the room anyway. Yeah, we got to get ready to paint in there. So the faster I get that thing done, I got to tile the floor so the floor looks like it's made out of steel. I got to change that entire room. It's going to require a massive paint job or art job just to do that. But yeah, because we brag a lot. We talk a lot about ambient light rejection technology, and then when I show off a room like that, it's dark. I'll get that one person that'll come in and go, "Well, I thought you said so and so and so." Yeah, I said. There you go. I said, and that's the end of the conversation. That's 148. That's 150. Both of these screens are bigger than what I have upstairs. That projector is short though on the floor, and you see it's cheaper and less qualified than the projector I have upstairs. That's a short throw. The one I have upstairs is much more advanced than the one I had down here. And the projector I have over there sitting on the floor sits in Eco Mode 3. A lot of people don't realize the Eco Mode 3 setting on that projector. And I can produce this like this with no problem with a ceiling light in the center of my screen. So usually when I have that little conversation, that's what I do. That's the end of the conversation. All right, so let's go pop downstairs because I have some work to do. Work. You just got a chance to game on my screen. You need new litter. I'm about to hook it right now. Put in the order for some overnight for some litter because you need it. Mr. Taco. We got work to do. That's why I'm glad that God worked everything out where I was able to go in, boom, powered by God's technology, was able to work everything out for me to have the other screen painted yesterday because, man, the order, that screen was supposed to be the Black Phantom. But now we changed the screen over to that new dark platinum blue. That's upstairs right now on my wall, the new stuff. So if I had waited and did that right around the time the stuff would have came in today, we had paint screen today and disassemble this one today and build it, that's just too much. That's way too much for today. And I still have orders. I'm still pumping out, getting those taken care of for customers. So it's a lot. I'm so happy with the whole ship out situation. It is beautiful. That's one of the biggest problems that I had with my company is the fact of just trying to get the orders out the door for the customers and having that constant struggle with the United States Postal Service, with their particular workers, not saying all of them, particular workers that just did not want to come pick packages up at the end of the day. I don't get that. It's your job at the end of the day. It's your job. You got that symbol. That's what it's for. And then, the fact that all I'm asking you to do is just park your truck in the driveway. I will load this up myself. Come on now. You even got bottled water, soda, whatever beverages in the house. Give you something while you sit in the truck. Not saying all of them are like this, okay? We just had a few of them that were like this, but they made my life freaking hard. I mean, really hard. Imagine you paying for packages to make sure you're paying. This overseas too. For your customers to make sure you get their items out on time. And then the very same people that you pay to run your business through don't want to pick your packages up. And then you're paying for ship outs, you're paying for scheduled dates, and you're going to get in arguments with these jokers. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Every place I've moved at, this is the only place I've ever had a problem with the Postal Service. So I've got a couple of them in there that were like God sent. They were God sent. If it weren't for them, I'd be in a lot of trouble. I know God brought them to me because there would have been a lot of trouble. I would have had a lot of trouble with PayPal, a lot of trouble with my customers, and trying to explain to them, look, we have a problem with the Postal Service. That's not something that a person wants to hear at the end of the day when it comes to their packages. But like I said, at the end of the day, God fixes everything. And he did. Man, he gave us beyond the blessing. Beyond the blessing. I have a postmaster that were on call. I have also several supervisors that will call, that will come to Mr. Bird's house, drive to Mr. Bird's house and pick up his stuff and take it with him. If I have a problem, you call me and let me know. If you have a problem, I don't report any of the postal workers. I don't do that at the end of the day. I don't do that. I don't care how mean and nasty at the end of the day. That's between, I pray and put it in God's hands. So that's between me, you, and God. Actually, not between me at all, period. That's between you and God. Whatever he decides, that's whatever he decides from that end. But I don't go and do that because at the end of the day, man got to make his money and he got to put bread on his table for his family. So I don't go interfere with that. But unless you're doing something stupid and you deserve it. I mean, really doing something really, really stupid. That's the way I come after somebody. Because I have people that come and say, well, you're going after so-and-so in a lawsuit. Again, you do really, really dumb stuff. And that really dumb stuff, after giving you that olive branch over and over again, will result in you getting sued at the end of the day. So common sense is don't do dumb stuff. Especially when you have a lawyer that sends you documents telling you to not do these dumb things or you will be sued. There you go. postal worker, couple conversations, that's it. So that's between him and God. That's it. I don't report people at the end of the day. That's between God. Let's say do something drastic, like say he comes over and he urinates on my mail. Okay, now we got problems at the end of the day. All right. Say he kicks my dog, which is not going to happen. My dog probably not biting him. But oh, I forgot those two. Okay, dogs coming in too. Next year, I'm getting the bully sons. Wait till you see those monsters. But anyway, but it's like that. But anything like that, where it's just you never know what's going on at the end of the day. And I think you got to think about that too. I mean, even though they're supposed to do their job, supposed to do their job at the end of the day, what kind of stuff could be going on? Someone could have passed away. Anything could have happened at the end of the day. So I just leave it between them and God decides from there because he knows more than I know. But other than that, we got blessed to have these people come up and pick up our packages. I got an amazing postal worker, which he is freaking cool, is out on a what, you know what I mean? So it's awesome that God took care of that situation I was going through. He knew what I was going through. So, we're going to fix that problem for you. We're going to make sure we get your packages out there. And some of the packages we do, I'm going to be shipping from now on from the Postal Service. I'm not doing that PayPal shipping station. That thing is a freaking nightmare. Even when it is working, it's a nightmare. I pay a little more for the shipping, but the shipping's a little faster. So I can get depending on what state you're in, I can get a 1-day shipping or a 2-day shipping because I pay that $16.50. So it's worth it. I just pay the $16.50. I don't care at the end of the day. But my whole thing for me is basically getting my product to my customers. That's what's important. That's why I was dishing out that extra $100 out of my pocket to make sure your package went from A to B. But now the driver's getting married. And she's getting the house and all the stuff that's going on. Her life is a little busy. I can understand all that. God worked everything out, worked it all out. So, like I said, without her, like I said, if she decided she could pick up packages, I'd be at the mercy at the post office. God knew everything was going on. He knew that, she's getting married. All this is going on. Mr. Bird is not going to have this person with him to help him out. Let me make preparations for him to get this set up. And that's when these people came into my life and made my life a whole lot, way beyond easier. And then with me needing to get lumber, because I told you, now I can go back and forth now because I'm vaccinated now. I can go back and get lumber and stuff like that. Well, her being busy, she can't pick up lumber for me anymore. So a lot of things were going to be put on hold for a very long time until I went over. And the reason I wasn't buying from Lowe's is like 4 blocks from my house, 4 or 5 blocks from my house, is because the shipping cost was insane at one point. It was crazy insane, like $75 to ship a door to your house. So I figured I'm just going to pay the money and just be done with it. And that's what I did. I put the order in, and the order was $50 for deliver. I paid my driver $50 to pick up my stuff, to deliver it, to bring it here, $50. So it ended up costing me the same amount it would have been with the driver. Fantastic. And the shipping time is fast. Guys, if you live that far from us, we can get this to you, boom, 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 no time at all. And your shipping cost is going to be much cheaper. So it's coming today, the lumber, to build this. So that means God took care of the part. I can buy whatever I want from Home Depot, jump my phone. I want this, I want that, dropped off at the house in no time at all, judging by shipping time, almost next day. Near next day, yeah, because I ordered yesterday. I'm getting it today. So we're like next day, probably depending on what they have in stock. And that's fantastic. Man, it's fantastic. Oh, I love it. I love it. They should have, I know it might sound kind of crazy, but they should have cameras because, with this whole, it's the variant thing's not going anywhere for a long time. Come on, face it, people. That's what it is. This whole thing with COVID, it's not going anywhere for a long time. It's going to be here for a while. A long, long time. So things are going to be getting weird, like changing around a little weird. I think they should put in cameras. They should put in cameras in aisles where people can see what's in the aisles. You know what I mean? So especially at home, I don't know how to do it at convenience stores, but if you're doing this like at Home Depot, where I can actually see what's in inventory, like, okay, I can see they have plenty of so-and-so and so just by seeing what they have on the rack alone. And you can go and check and see how much they have in inventory and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. Then that way you can know exactly how much to order and have it shipped to your house, which would be pretty cool. I would love to do that. Because, see if it's in stock or not. Because it's the same thing as me getting on a bus or and going down there and just checking it out for myself and going, they do have this in stock. Camera's already there. All right, so first thing I'm going to get my glow lights off the floor because we tested this yesterday, and it's going fantastic. All the lights are running perfectly. I already got tools set up to start taking apart the screen. So the lead screen is out and going. This is the last one I have in the house. Also, it's the last aluminum screen I have left in the house because I told you before, Mr. Bird is no longer buying anymore, and I mean for life. I've got all kinds of designs right now that I'm going to start building for my own Fit Train screens. This screen right here used to be in my upstairs lounge, But now I have a customized 127-inch levitating acoustic screen sitting there instead. Technically, it's levitating. It's not levitating the way I want it because I want a little higher up with the invisible cables, but because it does have those, it is bolted to the ceiling, which didn't take much at all due to the fact that there's no weight to them. I think it's lighter than this. That's 127. This is going to be a little bit bigger. We're doing this one at 126 inch. If you're thinking about to say there's a delay on my lumber, I take this whole thing apart and there's a delay on my lumber. Who cares? I got screens throughout the entire house. I can just pick one and just play on it. That's basically what it. That's the one thing about having multiple screens throughout your entire house. The lumber comes in late. Boom, I got this one up here. We just painted the new one upstairs. I can get a chance to play with. We got that big display. I want to have some fun with that. I want to hook up the PS4 to that right now. I really do so badly. So it's like I got screens all over the house. So if it doesn't come, it'll be here today. I'm not under the problem with that. This is what I'm more concerned about. I just replaced these right here, the LED lights. They're really, I like these. These are really the best ones I've ever used. But the problem with them, they're not so sturdy. I don't want these things snapping off. The first thing we'll start doing is we have to get this thing off the wall. We have to get it over there, which will be a lot easier to remove. And we got another set. These are LED lights too. I don't know what kind of these are. I latched all these in, so this is good. So I can just yank this from on the wall right from the door. Oh yeah, I can just snap this off, yank this off. And we're gonna lay this screen over here. This is actually the wall, our door projection screen set up. So I told you the pinball is freaking amazing. Man, I cannot wait to light it up on this new screen because this screen's nice, but I'm going to have lights bouncing back and forth. Oh, that pinball is amazing. I was on Facebook doing some gaming. People are asking where I got it from. Cheap. Very, very cheap. All right, so I'm going to disconnect you from here. I'm hoping I don't have to buy you again. Soundboard disconnected. All right, you are connected to all of this. We need to gently remove you. So you don't do the same thing you did the last time and get ripped up. Yeah, they make the lines really flimsy, but in the end, these are the best sound activation lights I have ever bought. The best. I want to put a list of my lights that I'm using for the demonstration. Those, the ones I had back there, they don't make those anymore. Now, the reason why those particular lights, the problem I have with those, whatever it is in that remote control triggers off lights in the house like crazy. So yesterday testing downstairs, didn't trigger anything downstairs except for the kitchen cabinets. It's the only one I got to replace. As a matter of fact, I got lights for the kitchen cabinet. I think I have them over here. I think I'm going to replace those. Those are I might do that. No, I have to replace with those. We can't use weatherproof in there. Weatherproof can't be used in there because that thing has to twist and move. So I may have to use these. I might have to replace the cabinets with these. Yeah, let me see. I should have enough lights. This mess. I got a proper way. Where did these lights go anyway? Let me straighten these out. I gotta straighten these lights out. These are gonna replace the kitchen cabinet lights. I don't know where I'll put the kitchen. The kitchen cabinet lights are on a mind of their own. I can't deal with those things. So I'm gonna use these for the kitchen cabinets. Or these would sound accurate too. Hey, Taco! Get it together up there! What's wrong? Yeah. He's going through a mating season. I know that call. That's the mating season call. That's what he's going through. I don't mind him meowing through the house, but sometimes he acts like he's got a karaoke machine strapped to his mouth. So he gets a little loud up there. He's going to be quiet. At least he's well trained. That's the one thing I like about it. Got to be meowing through the entire house. I don't know how people deal with that. I told you, train anything with a brain. Anything with a brain can be trained. All right, we're going to disconnect from here. I'm going to use these for the kitchen lights because the kitchen lights have to go. I've been trying to replace those For the longest time, they run on a whole different frequency. I think when I first started buying these chasers, I bought those for upstairs and didn't like how those displayed. But them things, I don't know what it is about those remote controls. They trigger everything off in the house. And I can't use those. Those are the only ones that had a reaction to the lights we had down here. So I stretch these out right here. This is going to be a long video, just so you know. I should have put a caution in there, long video. This is going to be a caution long video. So, you know, if you got something else to do, I suggest you go do it. But all this is being recorded for my my YouTube, we're putting a how-to on my website. So, like I said, it's going to be a long video. I want people right from the door. Got some that are short and sweet. This one's going to be a long one because there's a lot of work that has to be done. We dismantle on the screen, and then when the other one gets here, we got to build that one. It's going to be quite a lot. I don't like to do a lot of videos. Sometimes I feel I do way too many videos. There's so much stuff I want to show you, but you're just too many videos at the end of the day. I can't show you all that stuff. There's so much stuff we got to do. And so I just break it up. I put some of it on one platform, one on another, because it's too much. So much stuff I want to show you how to build, put together, how to assemble, how to make this and other. But, you know, at the end of the day, I can't really show you all that because there's stuff I can't, too many videos at the end of the day. Like right now, I can show you how to basically drop in a certain amount of paint to actually color and change the outcome of your interior for your home. Like I'm doing upstairs. I don't like the paint's going to come with the showstopper, but changing to something else. Let me see. I'm trying to get all this untangled because we literally have enough here to replace the kitchen upstairs. I'm only doing two things at the same time, honestly. But the lights upstairs, we can't use them for anything because those things trigger off everywhere. But they're new, and I want to do something with them, but I don't know. They might rip anyway because they've been actually at the end of the day, they take on a lot of good heat because my heat on my oven and all that's connected to that. So I just want to get all this so we can recycle our lights because you can recycle lights. Don't throw them away. You can recycle them. I do it all the time. Lights are expensive. Try to, when you're building your gamer room, make sure all your lights are exactly the same and test them first. You want to make sure they're all on a different frequency. You don't want them all on the same frequency because you hit that button, they're all going to change. You're going to rearrange all your work all over again. So just make sure that they're on a different frequency. If I find them on a different frequency, I'll basically share the link where you can get them. So that way you have to go to the painstaking of trying to figure out which ones are which. Because, like I said, they get the costing a lot of money. All right, we got all this untangled. I don't think this is going to be enough for my kitchen cabinets. My kitchen cabinets are quite huge, so I don't know about that. But we'll see. We'll put that over here like so. That'll stay right there. Make sure we got that out to the thing. Oh, this is what we have enough. Oh, I forgot. We do have enough. We do have enough. We got enough. Because I have to convert the other room. So I have to go in and I have to, what's going on here? Okay. What the hell is this about? I can run some tape through here. What's going on with you? You having this issue? You shouldn't have this issue. There's plenty of sticky on here. I'm not having this problem for me. I'm not having this problem. Why are you doing this? Okay. I think all my lights on my PS4 stand over here are rising up. This is pretty good sticky on here. If I got to, I'll run some clear tape over top of it to fix that problem. I'm gonna turn around, got some little repair in here I gotta fix and work on. Just fixing some lights here. So, all right, we're a little way off on that one. Oh, George, you and that perfectionist side, you're driving me crazy. All right, let me see what we gotta do here. Subs. Let's get this one unlined just right here. That was okay. Here we go. We'll bring you around, and then I'm gonna come in here and drop some tape right in this section.
locked down a little better, so that way we don't have that happening over and over and over again.
Okay, cool, that works. Oh, I'm gonna have to do it, take all this out. All this is gonna have to be, all this dirty material is gonna have to come out. I gotta rip all this out. I'm gonna do wire management from here to here. Each one of these are gonna be taken outside. I'm gonna blast these a different color. So probably some blue, green, whatever, because keep in mind I can't use spray paint because of my lungs. So we're gonna use an acrylic paint over top of it. And then I'm gonna blast it with a poly. Poly's gonna protect it, keep a nice coat on it. That way nothing scratches or tears up the paint job. So I'm gonna put those on the stand. I want those individual painted. And then we're gonna go back over top of it and we're gonna hit it with a glow, an invisible glow. So they glow in the dark. Well, maybe I should hit the poly last. Paint it first and then hit it with the poly, then hit it with the glow, and then hit with the poly. As we're making our own glow in the dark paint also too. Show you how to do that too. For those of you who mod and whatever you want to do with it at the end of the day. I did it for a haunted house display inside of a computer. An actual haunted house display with flashers and strobes and black lights for a design for a computer. So yeah, made our own glow paint. All right, our enhanced it. So now we got to bring this up right here. I got to figure out where this starts and where this ends at because this goes back several times.
I'm more concerned we don't rip and tear this up because I could use these recycled lights. If not, I got to go in and buy more, which I hope I don't have to at the end of the day because they're not cheap. So let's see what we get. Sorry for seeing a bit of the business. Hopefully, I keep my shirt down. So it's good. We don't have any form of
Perfect. Nothing got ripped up. Sure. Wow, God, it's amazing. Thank you. I don't want to rip these. I don't want to get them tangled up. That's one. That's two. That's my cat upstairs having a fit for no reason, just be having a fit. Now, I'm the kind of person who likes to sit back and wait. I'll do some action, but I do like to sit back and wait. So, just a little special message to a certain company. My attorneys are going to be wanting to talk to you real soon. So, I like to sit back and I like to wait a little bit just to see how things go. So, we knew something was a little bit awry at the end of the day. I'm not going to say too much. Anytime you hear Mr. Bird not saying too much, means something big is going to happen to you at the end of the day, and it's not going to be good. So if I talk a lot on it, then it's going to happen. But, it depends. But if I'm only giving out certain key words, I'm not saying certain things, then I'd watch out because we're coming for you at the end of the day. So, yeah, somebody did something really stupid. We found out exactly what they did. And now you had two parties that are going to be looking into this. So just to let you know for the person who did that, yeah, it's coming. So you may want to lawyer up real quick. That's all I got to say. As for the other company, well, we did reach out, and we're going to be reaching out again. As I told you before that, when the years go by, when the years go by next year, I'm going to have my own legal team. It is going to be nasty for some people, some real nasty people. If we catch you touching, we catch you advertising something that's not yours at the end of the day, we will be in contact extremely fast. So since I have experience of people messing with my stuff, doing this, that, and the other, we know how to handle things now, how to do things now. So doesn't make a difference if you disguise your information when you pop up on here and you carry on act or whatever. Doesn't make a difference. It's a digital age. You can be tracked. So be nice. At the end of the day. That's all you got to do. Very simple thing to do. That's how you stay out of trouble. Just be nice. Mind your business and be nice. That's it. All right, let's move on from there because we got things to do, and I got an extremely busy day. But I thought I'm going to plug that in there real quick. All right, let me see what we got to do here. Okay, so we got that taken apart, which is a good relief because man, I thought I was going to rip my lights, and I'm going to do that again. Buy the lights. That's my second time buying LED lights, so we don't do that again. That's all straight over here real nicely. That's that. We got those lights right there. Get the sound bar. It's plugged into what? Oh, we don't need sound bar. Let's take the correct on the sound bar. I'm going to need as much as the fluid as possible. So that we are going to need. So we'll load everything in here. And let me see. We did clip all this. Oh, this is the lights are back here. That shouldn't be hard. But being able to build, oh heck no, I'll never do it. I'll never buy an aluminum screen, never. And yes, I can build curbs too. I can definitely design curbs. Oh yes, I can. I haven't done a 235.1 setup, like built, custom built. I want to do one of those. All right, I got to get scissors and we need a tub so I can get up there. So I'm going to start clipping, getting it done. Clipping. I'm gonna start from here. This is much better from here. And I bet you $100 we don't get scissors down here. We never do. We never have scissors down here. I'm gonna have to. You're not gonna watch that. It's gonna be the most boring video you're watching your entire life. I gotta organize the rack. So the rack has to be organized. So I'm gonna trash the rack, get a metal one up there because that plastic one ain't working. It's actually caving in. And I got to reassemble everything, put everything up there, organize it, the whole 9 yards, tubs, category, everything. Because that thing is a mess over there. I'm surprised I can find anything over there. That's driving me nuts. I told you I can't have clutter in certain corners and stuff. Everything has to be organized or I go nuts. And that right there is driving me crazy right now. So I got to go order everything organized, get everything category so I can know where to get it and when to get it and so forth and so forth. And I need a tool rack in here too because this summer, we're going to be building some crazy stuff. Man, I got loads I can drop off at the house now. Oh, heck yeah. I told you I'm building a 180th portrait gaming simulator with the seats that rock back, sub, platform, lights, the whole 9 yards. Man, like a mini arcade back there when I get done. It's going to be pretty cool. And all this stuff, I can take it apart, shut it down, and move it to another direction, pack it away. Then we got the massive 250-inch wraparound acoustic screen with mesh from one section to the next. So now projectors inside, projectors outside. Oh, it's going to be insane. I can't wait. Mr. Berg is to build. I love to build. I love to build. Yes. I used to do it all day, I swear I would. That's one. Now, like I said, for some people, building is not their thing. Some people don't like to build. Some people it's convenient just to buy the frame and put it together. I'm not saying it's not a good idea to buy the frame. It's a fantastic idea to buy the frame. You know, at the end of the day, if you're not a builder, you know what I mean? Just not your thing to work with tools on. So it's not at the end of the day. I've done it before myself. And I did in the middle of COVID a few times. I bought myself a couple of aluminum frames, which we have right here. You know, it's up to you on how you want to do it. You know what I mean? But for me, I like to build. I like to put things together. So it's a lot cheaper for me to build it. And people say, we already have the screen here. Yeah, but it's not what I want right now. That was what I wanted at that particular time. But now with the new gaming paint coming out and we can design the screen any way we want, I can put in a compartment at the bottom. Oh, you have no idea how crazy this thing is going to look. I'm putting in separate different compartments with speakers and stuff. We have stuff flashing back and forth. This thing's going to look crazy when we get done with it. I can't do that with an aluminum frame. I can't be attaching parts here and here. It's going to involve some welding. I ain't doing all that. It's just too much work. The screen's already heavy enough as it is. I don't want to make it any more heavier. But this, I can customize it any way I want. Oh, I didn't think about that. I could add those in too. I might put some LCD. No, I don't want LCDs. I want LCDs anywhere near my screen. That would be cool though. No, I don't want that crap in there. It's an LCD monitor with the going in there to begin with. We could, oh, we make that, I keep forgetting, we make so much stuff. We got that invisible black technology in there. I can get a piece to cut out and put a projector behind the back of it, which we have these right here. They're not doing anything. I got my minis right here. I can slap one of these behind the back of it, and I can put a digital display in there. Do it myself. Why am I going to sit there and put an LCD screen into my projection screen, which would defeat the whole purpose of having a screen that's self-efficient. And then right now, I'm going to be getting rid of my secure computer monitor too, because that same black technology we're using right there, I'm going to use that for a small screen to put a projector behind the back of it. I was checking out those M1s, what are they called, by ViewSonics. Those things have a little bit of an ultra short lens on them. Really cool. So I'm going to use one of those because I want to be monitor free. I don't want any monitors in the house at all. I don't want any fixed frames in the screen in the house at all. I want to be able to do everything. Either I build it or we paint it to the wall. That's it. So I guess keeping it too real at the end of the day, Mr. Bird. But yeah, that's what I like to do. That's what I like to do. So I don't have to worry about, you know how expensive a 235.1 screen is? They're very expensive. They're very expensive. To be able to build it yourself, a whole lot cheaper, because I can build it any size I want. I can't wait for that one too. We're building that one next. We'll do it in the backyard. All right, so we're going to be on a crazy 235.1 collapsible setup for the backyard. I have latches on these. I think I have latches on these. I think I do. I have latches on these. They don't want to come up. This one doesn't want to rise for some reason. Let me see what's going on with you today. I mean, you don't want to move. I don't want to lose a finger in this process. There's the reason why you're just not wanting to budge. Let me see. When you're here, you have a latch here, which we can put the latch is nice. It doesn't cut anything. You don't want to work on a latch, do you? I got you. Woo! But they do make, I give one thing, they do make, I'm not interested in their products, because like I said, we develop our own stuff over here. There's nothing they have at the end of the day involving these screens. There's nothing they have over there. None, and just to say to all you certified screens, you don't have anything that I would want in my house. And not to be rude or anything, but you don't. Our technology is more advanced. And it is. It's way more advanced. So why would I need your stuff? But some of you've got some really good hardware, other than the frame for this, very, very, very nice. Extremely lightweight. Like I said, I carried this thing down my driveway with one arm with no problem. So very, very lightweight. Moving it back and forth, because I had to move this house from the other house, was a breeze. But the other screens, oh my goodness, like lifting a freaking car door. I couldn't imagine lifting 126 inches of any other screen down a driveway, because I would need two people to do it. But this one was so light, I was able to lift it with one arm and take it down there. So the hardware they got when they build the screens, very, very nicely. But as for all you certified screens out there, just to let you know, you would never have, I would never have any screens in my house, period. My stuff is way more advanced than your stuff. Why would I spend the money? See? The beautiful part about being able to say that, at the end of the day, someone sitting there right now probably has a $5,000 screen. And what the heck is he talking about? No, yeah, definitely. That's bar none. You have nothing I would ever put in my house. If I bought something else, I'd paint right over top of it. What would I use it for at the end of the day, honestly? At the end of the day. So they can get overset of that. It's called freedom of speech. Like I said, at the end of the day, I would never, ever put any of your screens in my home at the end of the day, because my tech is way better than yours. It is. Tested all your stuff already. I already know I can make that statement. And they're like, well, how can you make that statement? You don't. Yeah, I know. I know because I tested all your stuff. That's how I know. That's how I can make that statement. So you know how much money I save at the end of the day, and on top of that, I don't have to go and buy the expensive, crazy projectors. That's why we have so many projectors. Projectors here, we got projectors over there, we got projectors over there, we got projectors all over the house. I don't spend that kind of money. I'm not spending $3,000 for a projector. Are you crazy for what? I got technology in here that can do stuff on these screens that people with $5,000 projectors can't even do in their own home on a gray screen at the end of the day. You're sitting in the dark with a $3,000 projector. You're calibrating with a $3,000 projector. You're getting blackout cloth for your curtains to darken your environment, ambient light controlled environment, because you have a $3,000 projector. Meanwhile, over here, I got a $60 projector that can pull up on a fully lit environment, and I can pull an image off my ceiling with no problem on a projector I paid $139 for. Yesterday, I sat there, I had my windows open. I was watching one screen on my computer on the other one, letting the breeze blow in. Nice, had a nice day yesterday. Got the lights on and everything. Y'all can't do that. Y'all got these crazy expensive projectors and can't even do that. At the end of the day, there you go. Just tells you. There's your wake-up call, people. That's why we got the reality screen. I love the reality screen. The reality screen shows you exactly what you are not getting at the end of the day. I told you for the longest time that the gray screens are obsolete screens. I told you. And you have these people have these expensive projectors and they can't wonder why the color don't pop up, and every time they turn the lights on, the screen fades and washes out. Yeah, you're not even getting what you think you're getting from your projector. You spend all that money doing all that time and research, looking at this projector, looking at that projector, and that, and going to websites and reading reviews and this, that, and the other. All this research. Finally pull the trigger, buy the projector, get it down your house and set it up, and you really think you're getting an image. You're only getting 50% of your projector. So when I come in and watch your demonstrations, I'm not laughing. I'm like, dang, I have no idea what they're not seeing. That's what the reality screen does. Gives you an idea what you're seeing, what you're missing from your projector. You don't get what you think you're getting at the end of the day. But you got people out there that try to convince you that you are, but you're not. You're not getting what you think you're getting. Because at the end of the day, if you were getting what you were supposed to be getting at the end of the day, then they would be able to display like us. And they can't display like us. Because they can't. You're not getting what you're supposed to be buying at the end of the day. I think when we did this, we yanked out, I think I yanked out this one from here altogether again, because we had to levy it off to get it off. Yeah. That's what we had to do. So, you're not getting what you're supposed to be getting at the end of the day. All right, let me see how we got this, because this one's going out, and I don't want to make sure that we don't get jacked up in the process of moving. We shouldn't. Like I said, really look at how lightweight this is. I'm not knocking their hardware. The hardware is extremely good. Oh, you didn't see that, did you? Don't have the camera turned. All right, whatever. Yeah. Getting anything what you think they're getting at the end of the day. At the end of the day, if you want to get the big boy screens, if you want to get the expensive models, you want to get those, then I might do it over here, because I'm going to push in my screen over here. If you want to get the big boy screens, you want to get the expensive models, then you're going to have to spend the money for the big boy toys. Like a couple $1,000 here and there. Because at the end of the day, that dealership's going to tell you at the end of the day, hey, look, you want that high performance screen, you want that 4K, you want that 1080p to pop on your screen, you got to spend some money for some dark technology. And at the end of the day, it's going to cost you a couple $1,000 easily, very easily. So you have that to deal with. But as for somebody at the end of the day, trying to convince you that a gray screen is on the same performance level as dark gunmetal or black screens, no, that's bullcrap at the end of the day. That's so much bullcrap. It's not even funny how much bullcrap that is. Anybody, any form site will tell you right from the door, no, ain't going to happen. No gray screen on the face of the planet is ever going to be to compete with a darker technology. Not going to happen. This is simple, basic common sense. Your contrast levels are just not going to pull from the door. And if they don't pull from the door, that means your color is going to be affected by that too. Now, you may pull a somewhat high white level, but your white level is never going to be equal to a white screen because only a white screen can pull a high white level. There's no screen that can pull a high white level higher than a white screen. Like there's no screen that can pull a black contrast level the same as a black screen. Virtually impossible. I don't know what kind of Mickey Mouse science that came up with, but that does not work at the end of the day. So at the gray screen is pretty much like the improvement of the white screen. That's all it is. That's what you have, an improvement of a white screen. You don't fit in gunmetal territory. You don't fit in black technology territory. You're just a little bit of a bump up from a white screen. That's it. You're still in the category of a white screen, somewhat. That's where you're at. So pretty much what you purchase is just an upgrade version of a white screen. That's what you have when it gets down to it. When you get down to brass tacks of it all, yeah, you bought an upgrade version of a white screen. That's why you can't do the same thing as a black screen. You can't. I just sat there in my living room upstairs. If I made that a challenge, you think any gray screen will be able to do that? It can't pull that off. Man, no way in the world. I can watch those two women at Black Maker from back to back, one on the PC with the lights, and it can't do that. The screens are not going to pick up. That's why when you watch demonstrations, they're always in ambient light controlled environments. The environments are nice and dark. They have to use a high-end projector for making for what the screen can't pick up. Yeah, there you go. So if the average consumer goes on, there's a lot of research. I did it myself. When I first bought my projector, it was a BenQ MS500 at the time. They do a lot of research just to go home and get half of your projector. Because at the end of the day, you really think you're seeing color. Not to put you down, you really think you're seeing contrast? You're not seeing jack. I think these are good. These are pretty good. I can use these. If these have an extension, I can probably use these for the kitchen, maybe. Let's see what one is. This one is two. I'm going to use these for the rest of the time. There you go. You're not getting nothing out of it. You're running and trying to get off. I see it over and over again. I go to forum sites, I see the same thing over and over again. These gray and silver screens that look like absolute crap, and they do. Nice setup, whole nice setup for dedicated theater room setup. And this is really interesting. For those of you who have dedicated, I have to pick your brain on this one. Why in the world would you darken? Now, I understand why you darken the entire environment to make sure you kill as much light as possible. But you go through all that to darken your environment, and your screen is gray at the end of the day. You know what happens when you hit a gray screen with a high-end projector? It causes the light to ricochet off the screen and reflect everywhere around the screen. We're going to be doing some demonstrations on that too. The bottom line is you went through all that to darken the environment and your dedicated theater room just to have a screen generate light that's pushing all in the corners and all around the outside of your screen. You know that light reflects back at you too. You remember Mr. Mannequin? Where we had the projection screen set up and then we had the white screen behind the back of it. And we would drop the black screen down and the black screen would kill all the light in the back and you would see just the picture, but all that harmful light was canceled out. Gray screens do the same thing. They just cancel a little bit of the light. Just a little bit, but they still reflect a lot of light. So you went through all that to paint that entire environment to make it nice and dark, just to have a screen turn into a spotlight and your dedicated theater room. Because when that light hits it, it's going to reflect white light right at you. It's going to hit your corners. That's what Black Diamond was showing off when they brought down that projection screen and you watched the light being killed around the corner. It was canceling the light out. And you see Mr. Mannequin. So that light, that lit up Mr. Mannequin in that demonstration, there you go. That's all that coming back at your face. So I don't even know why. When I watch dedicated theater rooms and I look at the whole setup and I see this great big gray screen, I go, all right, that's going to go well. I figured if you're going to spend all that money at the end of the day, might as well spend. I mean, you got 100 screen. It's going to be way bigger than 100 inch. There's no point in setting up a massive display like that and put 100 inch in there. So if you go with any one of the other screens, there's going to be $5,000 from the door. Some of them are $3,000 to $5,000 from the door for 100 inch. So you're looking at a good maybe 20, maybe 25, 30 grand easy for a screen. Meanwhile, Mr. Bird goes in and takes about $249 of my black technology and just right on the wall, and I'm done. And I can do stuff you can't even do. Let's get this apart. Do I got the whatchamacallit? I've got springs everywhere. Definitely gonna have springs everywhere. Do we have the whatchamacallit to knock this out? Got everything here. I forgot about the springs. We're taking them out one by one. Let me see what we got here. Woo! Yeah, we got to finish that. We're gonna kill tons of screws. I'll tell you that much. We need to get some springs out. The springs are gonna be taken out. I think that's upstairs. Definitely upstairs. We got to. I forgot our thing has that spring support system. Maybe get rid of all this out. This should take no time to take down. What are you thinking about up here? All right, so we're gonna start working on, probably next week, we're gonna start working on some two things I'm gonna work on. We're gonna work on some of that liquid technology we have over there, which you don't get a chance to play around with enough. And I'm gonna start working on that black invisible technology over there, because I'm gonna build a much bigger screen for that one to play around with. Let's get our springs out. Let's try to keep track of these things, because I gotta get me a magnet of broom. I should get the thing. The magnet of broom. Should take this one apart. Looks good, everything's standing in track, which is good. Anything at all. Oh, I had this screen. I had this screen for about, I think, 2 years. About 2 years, I think 2 years. This screen, right? So as for the, I ain't trying to be rude here. And honestly, at the end of the day, like if I want a sweepstakes, I just said, Mr. Burr, you want a free home theater set up. You know, you get a so-and-so screen. Like, what the freak? What am I going to do with that? Like, I literally would not do anything with your screen. I would probably paint over top of it. I couldn't use it for anything. The other day, what do I use it for? Now, if you want to sit there, and I hope if you want to sit there and say, well, you know, that's just an accusation you're making. You can't back it up. Oh, don't give me an opportunity. Don't give me any publicity. Don't do that. Because I will basically, we can go on YouTube, wherever else you want to go at, and we can set up a live stream one-on-one to see which screen actually produces better. You don't want to do that one. At the end of the day. Make sure it doesn't hit me in the face. Now, I told you with the, when you have like the edge-free screens wrap around a little different. The other ones, they connect like this way and they connect under the frame. The edge-frees actually wrap around the screen. So if it's connecting this way, it wraps around. Either way, I still would not take this thing off to strap it back on again once you painted it, or if it's already been painted, to repaint it and put it back on, because it's going to be a stiffer. It's not going to have that give to it. That's a bad idea. When somebody told you to do that, don't do that. Do not remove bars out the back of your screen. These things are a nightmare to get in. It will be an even more bigger nightmare getting it back in, because now your screen doesn't have the give to it anymore because you painted it. Leave it in there the entire time. Don't remove it. Anytime you watch me do a video demonstration, you never watch me remove them. All I do is pass it back of the bar. That's it. Why in the world are you going to go through the work of taking the entire thing out, take it apart, to paint it, to put it right back in again, and go through that again? We can just easily just pad the back of the bar, and you're done. That's it. Because someone's telling me it has to lay perfectly flat to the ground. Bull. I painted multiple screens. Actually, matter of fact, we're building a screen and painting it. Yeah, that's bullcrap. It has to lay perfectly flat to the surface, and that's why you have to move it out of the frame. So that's going to affect the frame. I don't even know how that even works. We got one right here. We painted it, no problem. We got multiple ones. We painted them, no problem. I've done 235.1, 1610s. I did all different kinds of screens. Never had that problem at all. The only problem I have is that bar in the middle, and that's it. Other than that, one person's telling you to remove the bar. Bad idea. Don't do that. The other person's telling you to take the whole entire thing apart and remove it up, and don't do that either. At all, period. That's going to be your own personal nightmare putting it back together. You're going to take the whole thing apart to paint it and dry it and then put it back together. No. That's because those are requirements. Well, one person doesn't know what he's talking about, and the other one definitely doesn't know what he's talking about. One person saying you have to lay it flat because maybe that's his product. His product only works on a flat surface. That's it. That's your downfall. Everybody else, even if you're painting with everyday house paint, you can still paint it while it's still in the frame. Go through all that to begin with. What if you have, like I said, they don't think when they talk. What if you have a stationary screen like the one I had upstairs, 135? That's a stationary. You cannot lay that screen flat to the ground. Some screens are going to have to be painted while they're actually up there on the wall. So no one's going to take a 200-inch or 180-inch screen off a wall, take it down. They got to bring them on you. They're not going to do it themselves. They got their own maintenance. Maintenance got to come to do all that. Take it off the wall, bring it down, set it up, pull that material out of it, paint the material, put it back together, come back in, set it right back up. No one's going to go through all that. When you can just go in, tape down your sides, bam, 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 be done. Now, as for those who are saying, well, what about the You can't pad that. It's easy to get around that. It's a light roll. You put a light roll. Nothing heavy, very light roll. What I mean by light roll? You roll it where it doesn't touch, but when you roll it, you get spins at the end. I'll show you how to do it. It just spins. When you see me take my roller coaster and it makes that spinning noise, that's what you're doing. But you do a light roll. You don't want to touch, because that's what I had to do with the screen upstairs. There's no way in the world I'm going to pad a 135-inch screen connected to my wall that I can't lay on the floor. So how I did it without getting the mark in the middle of the screen was I did a light roll. That's it. To the middle. Other than that, that's, don't take it off. Don't do that nonsense. It's going to be your personal nightmare at the end of the day. Don't do that. Because eventually, like I said, I'm not mentioning their name because I don't want their name mentioned on my channel at all, period, anymore. But they don't know what they're talking about. I've been in business longer than both of them. Neither one don't know what they're talking about at the end of the day. If they could, they would be able to back their product. So that's it. Simple and plain. That's all I got to say. They'd be able to back it up. If they could do it. But they can't. So guess what? There we go. I mean, is that underneath me? That's not something else. I told you all that stuff is in the trash. And the reason why it's in the trash, I mean, I'm like I said, we're not mentioning, we're not saying because I don't care at the end of the day, but you know what I'm talking about. House paint. I can't, house paint. And like I said, I was talking to a few people today, and they were like, you didn't even freaking do a color match? I said, heck no, we didn't do a color match. We didn't do a color match at all. We just went there and just said, the guy mentioned the paint, and I was looked at it, and I was like, yeah, that'll work. So what's this? It's that's network gray. And I was like, okay, we'll take that. We'll take a gallon of that. Got it down here. I sat there on camera and said, I was not expecting to have an actual match. I was expecting to have a little bit of a hiccup. But even with a hiccup, you're not going to see a massive change. It's going to convert you, like saying, okay, we see a slight little change here. I'm just going to go and spend $80 over 23. No, you're going to spend the 23 at the end of the day. That's what you do. I've seen people in AutoZone get cheap parts over expensive parts for the car. I mean, they irrationalize, like, I'm only using it from A to B, like I'm going through an Autobahn or anything, you know what I mean? So get those right there. That'll work. It'll do the same thing. It won't do exactly the same thing, but it'll get by. But this did exactly the same thing, literally. So just by looking at it, we're able to match it. Yeah, that right there, ooh, man, that shows no testing at all. No testing at all. So like I said, at the end of the day, you have to make sure at the end of the day, you're getting what you paid for, That's why they don't match any of our demonstrations or anything we do over here, because they can't do the same thing we can do over here. So at the end of the day, you have to make sure at the end of the day, sooner or later, you don't even know. You can't even tell if you got a can of gray paint. How would you even know? You can't. Virtually, you cannot. You can't tell. There's no way in the world you can tell. We're going to do a little experiment on that. And like I said, don't involve them. It could be other people doing it besides them too, just shipping you everyday gray paint, and that's it. I'm going to ship over a friend of mine. I'm going to ship him over just gray paint. We're going to do one with the Digital One, our own product, and we're going to do one everyday basic gray paint. We're going to ship it over to him. We'll have him do a demonstration, see if you can tell which one's which. You ain't going to be able to tell. Because that would have affected me. If I still had my company under Digital One, that gray screen paint, oh, heck yeah, that would have affected me big time. Because you wouldn't be able to tell. Unless there was some glitter in there somewhere. Other than that, somebody drops glitter in there, it's the same thing. You wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't tell. That's the same reaction. And like I said, before we do these demonstrations, we give the people that we're doing these tests against, we give them the opportunity. We say, hey, look, if we're doing this wrong, just do it yourself. Back it up. If they don't back it up, then you know. That's why you got to be 100% sure that when you get a container dropped at your front door, that's why I said the shipping policy was weird looking. I've never seen a shipping policy like that. Never. It's like it's designed to say that, hey, look, and if you do find out, you can't return it because it's definitely yours because you agree to keep it. Yeah, it's no, But if I was doing digital crystal screen paint, I'd be out of business about right now. I would. There's no way in the world I'd be able to back my product up. Virtually impossible. I couldn't even think about it. I'm thinking about it right now. Like, how would I even be able to do that at the end of the day if it matched that product? Nah. That's why if you notice all the crazy demonstrations we do on our screens, that's why we're writing on screens with black paint, making paint. Yeah, because when we engineered this stuff, we had to make sure it had nothing to do with anything else at the end of the day. That's why. That's why we put those challenges out for people saying, hey, same thing we do our tests, do our demonstrations, and they will not do them. Tablecloths, bed sheets, whatever we get our hands on. Yeah, we do that. I got that gray back there that just came in. I can't wait to throw it against one of my screens. So certified screens, we do all these tests to show that, no, we are not in the same category. So if someone ships you over black paint, guess what? There's a difference between our product and black paint. Number one, shape's not going to match. Number two, it's not going to do the same thing. Can't see white light. So we know that from the door. Fabric ain't going to do the same thing. We got other tests to back it up. But gray paint, you can't tell. You can't tell. Honestly, you can't tell. At the end of the day. Whew. You can't tell. That's the part that's scary. Now, the problem you have here is, say if they darken it a bit. Say they put some black paint in it and they darken it a bit to make it different from the actual gray screen. You can go out and buy gray paint that has the same darkness to it. Software. They have a paint called software. It does the exact same thing by Sherwin-Williams. It's a darker version of it. Same thing. The tricky thing about when you deal with that kind of paint is the fact that if you put too much black into it, your white levels suffer horribly. I mean, very, very badly. If it's too light, and that's where you have to keep it at, because you're not going to be able to maintain the contrast levels, but if it's lighter, you're going to be able to maintain your white levels, which means your color's going to be a lot more brighter and vivid, but you lose your contrast and you lose your color. That's the kind of trade-off comes at. Which means you can't be in an ambient light environment with certain things. Like if you're in an ambient light environment with colors, you can pick up somewhat to a certain degree. You're still washed out and faded. But if you try to use contrast, it's not going to work. You're going to wash out extremely badly. It depends on how much light you have in the environment. Like the Maxell zone, a gray screen down here, won't survive at all, period. Outside, they don't do well outside. The environments I have in my house upstairs, no, they're not going to do well up there either. As you see with the reality screen, did not do too well upstairs. And that was upstairs in the smaller room at 4 to 5 lux, 4 to 500 lux or something right there, lux. It wasn't picking up. So automatically for the door, yeah, they're plagued. It's just like I said, it's an advanced version of a white screen. That's all. Nothing more. And then what they do is they go on and get a high-end projector, ambient light controlled environment, so they can basically be to produce better contrast and better color in the environment. And the projector does all the work. The more powerful the projector, the more better the image is going to pull out. That's the sales pitch right there. I've been in meetings where you guys will sit around trying to display our screens on a showroom level, and they'll sit there and pick out the projectors they're going to use. And they'll pick out certain projectors that have certain specifications to make the screen enhance the screen. Now, we're used to using crap over here anyway, so at the end of the day, anything's going to produce. We put something high power on the screen, it's going to look insane. We're used to using older projectors. But even if I got one of these projectors, it's going to look amazing on our technology. But as I said before, I've been in meetings where I've heard them talk about what projectors they were going to use in their showrooms to show up the screen. If it was me, I would have older projectors in there. But since they're the ones fitting the bill for the projectors, they're going to pick out the best what they can get. We're going to get this because it produces that contrast level, and this is a short throw because we have less of a distance throw, and we're going to be able to pick up a much better image. Yeah, all that stuff is planned out. Hold on. And all that stuff is all planned out. That's why if you look at particular settings on YouTube, when I sit there and I say it's the same projector, same screen, I'm telling you that whole setup is set up to make the screen look good. Because if you move it any place else or any other projector, it doesn't pull off the same image at all. It doesn't react the same way. So that same setup is the same thing, that comfort setup. They have a certain size screen because that screen is going to compress that image, that nice little screen, 100 inches easily. It's going to be able to pick up a little better, and then the caliber projector they're using is going to make the screen look the way it looks. But in here, we go do a demonstration here, we do one here, we go upstairs. Our environments change every time we move throughout the house. The most impressive one I like the most is the ceiling. That's the one I have the fun with the most. But I can move about the house. Different projectors, different settings, and all these projectors are affordable. Everybody can afford these projectors, and the environments change at will. We can go anywhere we want. Boom. We can even go outside, anywhere we want. You watch me do demonstrations. Start at one place, walk through the house, look up at the ceiling, boom, we're outside watching. That's a mind blower for most people. What the freak? Just go outside? Yeah, go outside, jump on and watch the game. That's what you want. And every nice projector I show off, $139, $300. I don't have one projector, only have one projector in the house. The highest projector I have in the house is $500. Everything is below. Matter of fact, the projector right here for the floor display, that's $60. That's a $60 projector. 270. 270, both of those Chrissies. Yep. So, That's why I tell people when I sit there and say same old screen, same old so and so. I'm telling you like, look, if they're doing the same demonstration on the same screen over and over and over again, that's a comfort zone. Because they know they have to give the customer a certain amount of information to be able to produce that screen in their environment. They'll say it's not ambient light rejection technology. At one up front, right from the door, they have eliminated the fact of having a screen in a fully lit environment by making that statement. And then they'll say it works in some controlled environments, which means at the end of the day, if it doesn't work in your environment, they can say, look, I never said it worked in all of them. I said it worked in some. You got to read between the lines what they're saying. So that's why I say a lot of the demonstrations I've seen are fake. Because if you're ambient light rejection, you're ambient light rejection. That's all to it. You should be able to pick up in here with no problem. But when they sit there and they say, oh, in some, then they're saying that, well, if you get it and you turn your lights on, your screen washes out, they can say, I never said it was ambient light rejection. And then they can sit there and say at the end of the day, well, it works in some environments. It just doesn't happen to work in your environment, but it works in their environment perfectly. But in their environment, it's dark. Now, one of the other tricks I love to see all the time is, again, they'll pick bright, beautiful colors all the time. You got to watch out for that. Watch the demonstrations. I do it all the time. Watch demonstrations. They use bright colors. Bright colors are going to fade less in well-lit environments. You ever seen them do a dark demonstration in a fully dark well-lit environment? Not going to happen. The screen's going to wash out. That's why it's a contrast that always must be done with the lights on. Because what if the customer decides that they want to be in a well-lit environment? It's a shame because when I talk to, well, you really don't want to go, do you? You just really don't want to move. Some customers I talk to, they just say to me, they go, well, you know, I don't have that much light in the environment, so and so and so. And it's a shame because they're used to being in the dark. They don't want to put the lights on because the screen's going to wash out because of what they've seen. This is a different form of technology. You're not going to sit in the dark. There's no way to watch it in the dark. I think I had this outside because, did I have this outside? Hey, get off that door. But that could be him fighting something, I don't know. But yeah, I think I had this outside. Which one's gonna rust it? Yeah, but you have to make sure you have to read between the lines, people. You read between the lines. That's what you got to do. Watch your presentations and read between the lines. Because they should not be on the same, number one, they shouldn't be displaying on the same screen every day. They shouldn't be. They should be on the same screen. You have to show your screens off in different sizes and different calibers. And one thing, displaying the screen on a 100-inch over and over and over again, not a good sign at all. You have to be displaying on much bigger screens because the screen affects a screen at 100-inch. It's going to be a little different from a screen at 180 inches. 180 inches is going to affect differently. Number one, your pixels are going to be have more strain because they're going to have to expand depending on how much the pixel resolution is. Number two, your screen's going to be taking on 10 times more light. And also, depending on where the screen's being set, if it's outside or inside. If it's outside, it's definitely going to be taking on a ton of ambient light. So imagine if you're doing a 180-inch screen outside around 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock and it's still pulling up, that's an insane piece of some technology right there. At the end of the day, you're watching a demonstration with screens on the same 100-inch every single day in the same environment and never even changes. Not a good sign. You shouldn't have to go to somebody's house just to get your hands on a 150-inch screen. You should have it at your disposal. And you have to be able to display everything off that. That's why I can't wait to get outside. These screens we have in here are big, but man, outside, we're going to have monsters out there. And I want to see my screen on something bigger. You should want to see your screen on something larger. Let's get this all knocked out right here. These are those telltale signs you got to watch out for. Like I said, it's comfort zone. Especially if the customer's screen is looking exactly like the person who sold the screen. That is not a good sign. That's a very, very bad sign at the end of the day. Couldn't get him there. That's why when you go to my intro video, what do you see on Mr. Bird's channel? You see a screen over 1,000 inches. That's what you see on my intro. So those are not inside lights. Those are actually stadium lights. A stadium light's a whole different from a light inside your house. You can actually break a sweat, get cooked under a stadium light. That's a company we did overseas. Had a church out there. And at first they were a bit skeptical about our product. And like they said, they decided to give it a challenge. Had to give it a test, and they loved it. That's the biggest screen we ever did. That screen was huge. But yeah, they bought a lot of paint from us. They went out there. We gave them a good discount. We always give churches good discounts at the end of the day. And anytime somebody comes in, it's the first thing you see an introduction video. I had one introduction video where I actually painted the screen on the outside. What we got here for time? Yeah, it's going to be a bit long on this one. All right, so we got all the, whatchamacallit. I think we got to relax one of the, I got some on the floor too, which I don't want to walk in these bad boys at nighttime. All right. Some screws all over the place. We got one right here hanging off the deer light. I used to have the screen fall off this way, but I told you he's going to the front. So I'm going to have springs. Oh, I need to buy a magnet or something. I need to have springs everywhere. Let's see. Bottom. All right. And then you don't want to come loose. So I got that one in there that wants to stay. Like, no, it's all perfect. It's working together so perfectly. And you got to come together. He don't want to come out. He definitely doesn't want to come out. There we go. He didn't want to remove himself. Gotta get that one that doesn't want to go. Yep. Gotta watch. Where you at? Let me get all these up. I do not feel like pulling these up on the floor. I don't feel like finding the hard way. See, that's not going anywhere. On the floor. These up. Yes, actually. I need to put these in. Okay. All right, so now we got to pull out the tension rails. They got to go next. So the rails inside here got to come out. Let's actually look at this. That's the gamer screen. Then an update, you thought it was black. Then everybody said, like, it's not a black. That screen's not black. That's the game. Gamers aren't black. But they look black because they got that contrast shifting technology in them. But you thought that screen was black. The screen's not black. Gamers aren't black. In fact, I'm gonna put you guys. Well, now we're just stripping out the whatchamacallit. You know, we need to seal that at the end of the day. All right, there we go. We'll get that out of there. Now, the reason why I told you that taking apart the screen, painting it, putting it back in, bad idea. And like I said, if you want to go down that road and you want to destroy your stuff, go ahead. It's not my problem at the end of the day. It's your money. But the reason why I know about this, because I said that we used to sell fixed frame screens. We used to sell them. We bought our screens from a generic company, contact them, got permission, told them what we're doing with them, and we could do it as long as we bought a certain bulk from them every month. They gave us permission. These are unnamed brand screens. Put our own badges on them. So, these screens were 100 inches. They snapped off in the middle, which means they break off part in the middle, which means it's a smaller box. We can ship them by the United States Postal Service. Doesn't cost us a lot of money to ship them. The problem we found with them is the fact that you can't ship the screen already assembled because it's too much money. It's better if you have it in the box. So the only thing we would take out of the screen was the fabric, the material, and we would paint that. Now, we're thinking everything's well. We painted it, we covered it quite well. There's going to be a problem. Everything's going to go quite well, smoothly. Find out that the first ones that went through, they were sticking because you got to put paper in between. But they got a machine that rolls these up nice and tight so they fit in the box. So it's one of the other problems that popped up was trying to get the screen to roll up nice and tight with the paper that we had in between, which we were using tissue paper. We're using a kind of like a brown paper bag kind of tissue material. And it worked quite well. Screens didn't stick. Did some testing, put some of them down there, put some heavy weights on it, see what happened. Wait a couple of days, and we didn't have any problems at all. So we knew we got the green light on that. Anything we do, we have to test it to make sure. But there were issues, because the problem with the issue is when the customer got it and we tried to expand the screen to stretch it to put it back over the frame, it became extremely hard to do because the original stretch on the PVC wasn't there anymore because the screen was painted. That was one of the problems. Another problem that occurred is the fact that sometimes when you're painting the screen, you may miss areas by accident, which means when a person stretches the screen out, they'll get these little white lines that move across the screen so that the screen is cracking. These are just areas that didn't get hit with paint, and they're now causing these white lines from the previous screen all over your screen. So there is going to be issues. The best way to paint a screen is to assemble it in the frame, tape over your border, or if you get edgeless, you don't have to do that, and just basically paint it. Pad the bar before you do it. That's it. Do not remove bars out, because not all screens are the same. Now, Elite screens are easier to remove the bar out from time to time, depends on which ones you got. Some of the generics, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? I literally had to get a hammer on one of them and bang the freaking bar to fit in because it wouldn't fit right. Because they're not going to have the same manufacturing codes as more of a company that basically has better equipment. Some people are just not going to have that kind of equipment to cut out. I've seen instances where I've tried to slap rails. They had the L's that would slap into the corner. They wouldn't fit correctly in the grooves because whoever did it didn't follow it down correctly. And you got these couple pieces that are sticking up that won't slap in right. So you have to give a hammer. You have to bang the side of your frame to get it to lock in right. So there's a whole lot of stuff that could pop up that could go wrong when you're buying a generic frame. Mind you, they're not going to have the same standard and code that you're going to get from a screen like maybe Elite Screens or a company that builds these screens, that they're going to more of a higher standard. You're going to run into some complications. Not going to be all, but you will run into some complications. So if you get it put together, leave it together, and then paint it while it's in the frame. Your screen's going to be fully stretched out, so you're going to hit all the areas you need to hit, and that's it. It's very easy to do. But the instructions that either one of them gave you are bonkers, absolutely bonkers at the end of the day. How many fixed frame screens have you put together at the end of the day? Not a lot, have you? I put a lot of them, a great deal of them. So I know that for a fact from experience. So that's what happened. So when the customer got it, trying to get it to stretch back in, no, not working at all, period. Just trying to save you the time and the headache at the end of the day. Don't listen to them, because they don't know what they're talking about at the end of the day. All right. And at the end of the day, they're going to say, well, he doesn't know. Well, at the end of the day, if I knew what I was talking, if I didn't know what I was talking about at the end of the day, then at the end of the day, I just keep my mouth shut at the end of the day. There's no point in talking about something at the end of the day you don't know anything about. But I do, because I can back my products at the end of the day. I don't have canceled orders. Please understand, people. I have canceled orders from these individuals. That's not good. That's not a very good sign. That's an extremely bad sign, because at the end of the day, if they can't back what their product can do, then how can you believe what they're saying to begin with? There you go. Simple and plain. You have to be to back it up. And we got those cancellations like this to show you for the end of the day. Very nice, Bill. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. See that? See that work? This is very nice. I'm not a fan of Elite Screens. I'm not. But at the end of the day, I always give credit where credit is due. And if I could hate the company, can't stand them, whatever, at the end of the day, never buy one of your products ever again. But I had to give credit where credit is due. This is a very nice built frame. This is nice. Hate to take it apart and throw it away, but it's a very nice built frame. For all the frames I built, I've actually seen down through time, all the different screens I put together, this would have to be one of the best. I don't know about the rest, I haven't done them yet, but so far, this would literally have to be one of the best. This is a good job. But other than that, I give credit where credit's due. I'm not a big fan of the guy's Screen Innovation. I don't like him. I'm not a big fan of him, but I got to give him credit where credit's due. His technology's good. It's really good. It's nice. It's very nice. At the end of the day, I always give credit where credit's due. If any one of those jokers did something correct, I would give him credit where credit's due. But other than that, if there's nothing there, there's nothing for me to give you credit to. Like we're talking about the whole thing about the websites. The other one's website, nicely done. It's not the stuff that's falsified. There's a lot of stuff that's falsified. It is. There's no way of backing it up. But at least it's nicely done. The other one, it just looks like somebody just slapped together a cheap wish list and just threw it up there. That's what it looks like. So I give credit where credit is due. This is very nice. I mean, very, very, very nice. Nice job. And nice aluminum, very lightweight. See, they put their time in this. I can tell when a company put their time and they research when they build their frames, and they put their time in this. It's very nice. Oh, well. It's kind of like I hate to see it go because I've had it for so long, but it's got to go. I like my technology better. On top of that, my frame is not going to be as advanced as this, but it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But still a very nice job. I have to give credit where credit's due. Let's take it apart. I hate it when some of the generic companies will give you this big, massive screen, and they will give you the weakest bar you could possibly think of for a support bar. You gotta lift that thing will turn to one side and twist right out from it'll pop out of the frame. So that's what I said, you gotta have, before you start talking, you gotta have experience and actually not just talking about it, but actually building. I've built quite a lot of frames. I've had my share of experience, but they did a good job on this one. Yeah, we got the tools. Make sure that every time. A lot of good times on this screen. Oh, very nice screen. Now the screen I had upstairs, the one I had to snap the frame in order to get it to collapse, That's a generic. That's why I said I didn't like the way the screws in the back. They're supposed to be hex screws, but they're so smooth, you really can't get a grip in there. And then on top of that, they make them out of that soft metal, which means you can strip them really easy. This is how it's supposed to be done right here. So the two screens I did take apart, that took one apart, or actually taken apart very, very easily. Those were Elite screens. The 100-inch I had in the hallway, I had no problem taking that apart. The one I had outside in the back, which you took down, and the one we got here, which we're removing right now. But the other screen, the one I had to actually take the frame, I had to collapse it. I thought about coming in and cutting the bolts to make them into Phillips flathead so I can get them out. That was generic. So you got to be careful with that because sometimes they'll give you that soft metal, and that soft metal gets stripped real easy. You got to put a lot of pressure on it to strip one over, but they will. But if it happens, if you have one of these right here, this is what you're going to do because we had these when we used to mod Xbox 360s. Xbox 360s had those weird, crazy looking screws in them from time to time, and you would strip one by accident and go, "Oh shit, man, I'm gonna get this disconnected from the motherboard." Motherboard pulled out of the case. You get one of these babies right here. This unit right here will allow you to put a little blade right here. Now allow you to cut a nice little groove right across that screw, and you can put a flat here in there and pull it right on out. I learned that from watching somebody on YouTube. I don't know who he was, but yeah, thank you so much for that one, because man, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nice thing you never ever done for me. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Oh, man. Detect it. Why is my hard drive not detecting what's going on? Our computer's on. I have some issues with you, which will call me right now. I don't think I have to replace you. Not detecting. Why not detecting? I think HDMI cord might have some issues. Oh, come on. Let's be nice. Let's see what's going on today. Look up in the back. Here. Let's see what we got going on here. protection. That's a 2. All right. Let's see, I had some issues with the HDMI port. We'll fix that. Let's see. Yeah, the HDMI port maybe having some issues. We'll have to look into that. Oh, that's the gaming unit upstairs. Where's this one? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's that one. That's the gaming unit upstairs. Couldn't figure out which one was which. All right, we got this one out. That's like a week in a little belly. Oh, gonna be the timber. I gotta bring a microphone system down here for my unit. Same setup I have upstairs with my projector upstairs. I have on my wall. This is a max out zone. So down here, we have more ambient light than we usually have in the average home. If these screens can fire up down here, they can fire up anywhere. That's why we have it down here. It's a max out zone. But when you got a screen constantly in a comfortable environment, and you go to turn the lights on, anybody else turns that lights on in their environment, that screen's gonna wash out. It's gonna have issues in there. Something's dimming. I think it's this one. My sensors. So let me see.
You can easily train yourself to listen faster. If you are able to listen fast, you can consume more information.
That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. Like the other day. Who writes this dumb stuff? I didn't think. Seriously? Depends on a person's brain. Everybody can do the same thing. I know people that are speed readers that can read through something and memorize it. It all depends on you, how fast you can process and how fast you can obtain memory. That's pretty much the day. Some people can obtain memory better than others. That's why they give you that. That's one of the tests they give you. You don't knock them in the middle. They give you the test to see exactly how fast you can obtain memory. They put out a sheet. There's a whole lot of stuff going on, like a Where's Waldo display, and and they ask you what's wrong with the picture, and if you can explain everything in that picture because you memorize with a photographic memory, it means it's pretty high intelligence. You can memorize that. But you can have the most advanced memory in the world. If you can't remember anything, then guess what? You can't remember anything. You can study quantum physics, microphysics, trigonometry, all that crazy stuff at the end of the day. But if you can't obtain the memory, you don't know what you just learned. Which means you have to learn the process all over again. But people that can obtain memory, long periods and long periods of time, can remember that stuff, and you don't forget what you learn at the end of the day. Like I'm studying hydroelectric energy right now. I'm learning how to work with turbine engines and how to generate energy from from water and stuff like that. I can study that stuff all day long. If I don't remember it the next day, then I don't know it the next day. I mean, I have to restudy it all over again. But unfortunately, stuff for me sticks in my head. It doesn't go anywhere. That's why I don't watch horror movies. Because if I watch horror movies, that stuff gets stuck in my head and it'll never freaking leave. That's the downside of it all. I'm not saying I'm super crazy intelligent. I'm not. But stuff stays in there. It's just in there. I have recipes from way back from Digital One. Give me different forms of combinations of screen paints I have made. I know them all. They're in my head. Yep. Things I built, things I designed, and that's the reason why I stay away from horror movies, because horror movies will be stuck in my head and they will never, ever leave. I've got stuff in there I've watched I regret the date. Since I was 16 years old, I had stuff in there, weird stuff I've watched. Yep. Well, I tell people at the end of the day, I don't watch those movies, that stuff gets stuck in my head, it'll never leave. But yeah, it depends on what your brain can obtain. That's the end of the day. You can be the smartest person on the face of the planet. If you don't remember what you studied, then you don't know what you studied. That's why I wanted to test Malcolm in the Middle. If you ever watched Malcolm in the Middle, when they were trying to figure out how intelligent he was, and they put out that sheet in front of him, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. She said, what's wrong with these pictures? And if you could name everything that was going on in that picture, that means you have an excellent ability to be able to remember and attain information. Shows a signs of high intelligence. Like people can play by ear. People can play by ear are what you call musically gifted. Now my brother, he plays piano, he plays trombone, he plays guitar, he plays bass guitar, he plays several different instruments. He plays by ear. He can actually write his own music. That's a gift that people can do that. They can play by ear. Was that Mozart? Was it? It was one of them that did that. You can play with ear. Anyway, yeah. Yep. That's like people that can sing. If you can sing, people don't consider that to be a big thing. That is a big thing if you can sing. You know how hard it is to learn how to sing? At the end of the day, I mean, people are just gifted. They just have it. And then some people have a voice of an angel. That's what I call being touched by God. But you can sing, yeah. You have something that other people can't do at the end of the day. At the end of the day, God gave everybody a gift. Everybody's got one. Just have to figure out what you got. So, at the end of the day. All right, put these right here. I like to watch history. I'm a big history buff. I love freaking history. It could be anything with history. I like to watch how things are made. Because I invent and I design stuff, so I'm always curious how inventors, how they started off, the struggles they went through, the roadblocks they had to go through in life. I love that kind of stuff at the end of the day. And I watch some inventions where people were actually killed by their own inventions. Like the guy invented the submarine, he actually died in his own invention. But anyway, I like watching that kind of stuff, Because at the end of the day, when you watch that kind of stuff, when you have people out there that constantly tell you that you can't do something, those people that's a bunch of crap in the day. Think about it. If most of the inventors for the stuff that we use every day listen to the naysayers, it used to be a really rough world to live in. I mean, look at today. Today, you ever watch the You ever watch the history on flight, on exactly where it all started from? It wasn't actually a picnic at the end of the day. Getting mail, Postal Express, stagecoach, transportation, that stuff was a nightmare back then. You might see them Wild West movies and go, wow, no, it was a nightmare. It was an actual nightmare. So the fact that these two fellows decided to engineer flight, and they decided to go up on this farm and develop the airplane. Can you imagine the crap that they probably got when they came in town? The people that were pretty much thought they were crazy and nuts. Look at these two jokers. They're on top of a hill somewhere in a barn trying to fly. Can you imagine? The naysayers that had a ball with that at the end of the day. Called them crazy, maybe called them psychotic. Family members probably try to have them admitted. Who knows what went on? The only thing you know in history is basically what they teach you. You don't know exactly what goes on behind closed doors. That's why I like to study dark history. They explain this stuff they don't explain in school. A lot of crazy stuff. Some of the stuff is a little too much for me, and I can't watch it, but some of it's it's not horrifying. It's just actually real things that happen. But yeah, I mean, you think about it. These guys were up on this hill, and I'm pretty sure people weren't supporting them. Yeah, some people that did support them, but I'm pretty sure most of the people thought they were absolutely crazy. Mind you, they didn't have airplanes back then, so everybody thought these guys were Looney Tunes, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. All day long, up on this farm, in a barn, making a machine that flies. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Who would make a machine such like so? Who would even need it? What would be the point? We have boats, don't we? Yeah, I guarantee you. Now look at it. Get on a machine, boom! Fly from one end to the next, go here, go there, so and so and so, travel all over the world, go to places that you could never go to because these individuals decide to stick it out and stay inside that barn and develop that technology, which was with technology, so you can get on a plane and go visit people from here, there. Yep. Everything that you have now. And if you're talking about taking a trip on a boat, back in the era of Christopher Columbus, yeah, good luck with that one, because there's a lot of sickness and I couldn't explain to you what went on in them boats. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Only going to be a couple of days cruise. I'll tell you that much. You think about a year. That one, 4 months of a year. Yeah, I like to watch that kind of stuff. All right, we're coming apart. Computer. There's one. Get the screws out of this one. This one's already in. So I have to worry about these. These are good. I can stay just like that. Jazz. I want some upbeat. Ouch. Oh, not the hard way. Copyright music. I would be listening to Miles Davis because that's my favorite. Well, then again, be frank. Definitely would be frank. got it looked up like that because I thought this piece was still in there. One time I disconnected this, and that piece almost came down and caught me in my lower back. So gotta be a little careful. Yank out. Trying to stay in there. All right, we'll get you out. We'll get you out. We'll get you out. We'll get you out. Sure, I'm going to stay in there. I'm going to fold this screen up right now. Get this photo and get some room in here. So we get that done. I think I got all my tension rods out. Let's see. You don't want to come out. That's just a separate one that doesn't work out. Got another one right here. All right, so the bolts right here. Push it back in. Let's see, where's my scissors at? Bet you nothing, no scissors down there. There we go. I'm so excited. I can't wait to build my new screen. I'm so happy. I am so happy. You have no idea. I can't wait. Make sure we got the rods in there. Just making sure we got no rods in there. That's what I'm doing this. Screwed the hard way. That's nice. Just break something. summer, we're doing some pretty cool stuff. We're gonna show you how to make your own form of fabric projection screens, how to install grommets, which we're going to get a grommet maker in here, automatic grommet maker, because I'm not doing it by hand. We're going to be designing all different kinds of screens. That's how I got some skills in sewing, so I'm going to bring me a Singer sewing machine, buy some fabric at the fabric store. I'm going to design all kinds of customized outdoor projection screens. Also showing you how to coat them, weatherproof them, all that good stuff, how to design your own customized projector stands out of wood, stuff like that. We're doing a lot of cool stuff. It's going to be fun. We can learn to do all this stuff yourself. And at the end of the day, people ask me, what can we apply the screen paint to? Well, we're going to give you the option, show you exactly on how you can utilize our products and how you can make and design your own screens, which we're doing today. We're making our own screen using our own products. I need to figure out where I just put the bag for the screen. That's some nice copyright-free jazz. This is what I like to listen to when I'm in the shop working. And these two pieces right here, for some reason they just don't want to lift up, so we're going to lay these down flat. I don't know what's going on with that part. Just doesn't want to come up. So I'll have to take screwdriver to pull these up right there because they don't take the flat heads. We don't take the hex keys. There we go. Nice and neat. Put away, nice and neat. So before the screen gets here, that'll give me a chance to do some. I'm not gonna do wire management yet because this thing's gonna have so many LED lights attached to it. I got to get a major strip back here. I think they make 22 strips. We're going to need one of those 22 strip power strips. That's not going to be enough for what we're going to be running through this screen. This thing is going to be ultra bright. So we're going to have some fun with this. I love that pinball. If you got a chance to watch that pinball is amazing. So that's why I love playing on it. The lights flash and explosions. I love it. Let me tell you something. My peace of mind has been so much better. I got off the path. Happy to be back on the path again. That's why I said I had to cleanse myself of all that negative nonsense. We did the test. The test didn't go well. That's the end of it. There's nothing more to say, nothing more to do. We got the cancellations. We got everything else. That's the end of it. So I took everything that was negative, put it in the trash, threw it out the door, put it behind me, and then when it's time for me to go take care of this on a legal matter, we'll take care of it then. But until then, Mr. Bird is in his peaceful zone with me and the Lord, and I'm going to stand here and build and design and do what I do best, making amazing technology, and showing you different ways how to utilize it. We're actually having a section on projectors too, on how to get really good projectors. I'll pay a lot of money for them at the end of the day. So, yeah, I'm glad to be rid of that nonsense, because at the end of the day, sometimes I don't know how to let go. Like a pit bull, I lock it in something, don't know how to let go. And that's why I learned to let go and let God handle it. Let him take care of it. Because that cuts down all the stress and the headache at the end of the day. As long as we backed up our product, we did what we had to do. We came here, we gave them a chance to back theirs up, and they didn't do it. Ain't nothing more to say. That's it. That's why I took all that stuff, threw it in the trash. We're done. I'm going to sit here and listen to the rest of my jazz. I'm going to bag all this stuff up, get this ready for trash. I got an aluminum guy coming by. He's going to enjoy that, man. I got about a bunch of these out there for him. So he's going to stack up on that. He's going to get a payload off of that. And then if we got enough time in the day, I got to put my lights in for my kitchen, because the other one's got to come off, because if I trigger these off, the ones upstairs trigger to a disco effect. We don't need that going off. And then we got the screen coming in the building. So as you can see, it's not me getting up in the morning and starting my day off with, hey, so and so and so. I ain't got to deal with that no more. Ever since we brought that paint down here, that stuff match, I was like, oop. That gave me a reality call right there. What in the world are you doing chasing down this dark rabbit hole at the end of the day? Avoiding your blessings at the end of the day. You already know the deal. You know how they are. Why chase these jokers? So like I said, at the end of the day, not meaning we're not going to go to court. That's definitely going to happen. But as for all that stuff back and forth, I ain't got time for that nonsense. I got too much stuff to do, as you can see. Very busy person. I'm just not waking up. This is me waking up in the morning. I know. You're like, 12? Yeah, I wake up in the morning around this time. Sometimes I get up at 12. Sometimes I get up at 4. Sometimes I get up at 6. Usually I have a lot on my plate. My brain tells me, hey, we got to be up. We got things to do. And on top of that, I got to clean and bust down my house today. So I like to bust down the house every week, clean it down, wash it down, make sure everything's clean and everything. So I got that to do today too. But chances are they're going to be here early with the hardware. So when I get all this done, get my tools out here, get the cutting, get the size, and get the putting it together, and then we're good. Can't put the screen on yet because I had to order staples. I need a lot of them. So they won't be here till Sunday. So the rest of the supplies will drop here on Sunday. But we'll get a chance to play around with the Black Phantom, because I bought supplies for that for myself. And I'm going to paint some screens. I'll do some paint on demonstrations for Facebook for that. But yeah, we had to get things back in order. Let God get back in control where he needs to be at, and let me work on what I need to work on. And we still have the UFO Expo. We're going to be putting right up in here. Yeah, we're going to put a UFO Expo up in here. It's going to be pretty freaking cool. I can't wait to start working on that. So we got our project set out for us. It's a relief. I tell you, at the end of the day. And the beginning of the end of the day. I'm just starting my day right now. It's my day just starting. Sometimes you can't get caught up in the moment, you know what I mean? Sometimes you prove your point, you back up, you let God handle it. My problem is, I keep going. God got like, okay, that's it. You got to take away your blessings for a little bit. That's it. Until you understand that you can go and do what you need to do. When you've done what you've done, do it by the book, as we did. Back up and let me handle the rest, because the devil's going to drag you into a dark hole. And that's where I was hitting at. And that's why God got to slow things down for me. And I love it when he does that. I don't hate him for that. I love it when he does it. When he scolds me at the end of the day and tells me I'm supposed to do it right, I love him for that, because that shows he cares about me. If he didn't, he let me self-destruct. And I don't know better, so I would self-destruct. But allow things to slow down so I can realize, I can look up at him and say, hey, I'm sorry, I know I'm traveling down that dark road again. You take care of the rest of this, I'm going back to work. Thank you so much for reminding me. That's what we got to do sometimes, and all Christians go through it. Everybody goes through it. Christians go through it. I like how people put that whole stereotype that Christians are supposed to be perfect. Yeah, well, on what planet? If we were perfect, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd be in heaven right now. What would be the purpose of me being here to begin with if I was perfect? I need to be in heaven where everything is perfect. All right, let me see. We're definitely going to keep all of this, because we're going to need all of this. Because the screen is going to be big. We're going to have to because of the size of the screen, you can't set it up like this. I'm gonna have to bring it down some. 'This is where the work from the study comes in, how we drop it. Now, I might have to saw these. I might have to cut through these and shorten these. We could do it that way too. We can just shorten the posts. But they're all going to have to be perfect because we can't have anything uneven. So they're going to have to be perfect all the way across. That we can do. Let's see. Because the higher you make the screen, you got to make it with the width too. If you don't make it with the width, you want it to 4.3. That's what you're going to run it to. So that's the thing about it. If you make the screen higher, you're going to have to make it longer because you don't want to run into the 4.3 scenario, which it comes up that box. You don't want that crap at the end of the day. I really would just like to drop this thing to the floor, to tell you the truth, honestly, and build in my own system from there. Because my screens in width are 12 feet. We're not going to use 12 feet because the screen for here is about 9 something. But if I want to jump into 10, and let me see, the height of the screen is somewhere between like 5 or something, like 5 something. And then jump it from 6 from 6 to 10 would be nice. I would rather do like 7 to 10 would be better. Yeah, because I can just fit my screen. It's going to be edgeless. I can fit my screen if I want. But it depends on how big of an image I'm going to actually get from the image itself. That's what we got to think about. Because I can take the time, I'm trying to figure out the fastest route we can do this. I can cut every last one of these and shorten them so it has a nice little stand. But then again, I could build a stand in there. Because I have the room to actually build an extra a stand in there for the screen. A stand within a stand in the screen. I can do it that way. Which I'm thinking I'm probably going to do. Yeah. power this on a minute. See what we get out of this. Turn the map out and see how big we're gonna get off of this. Move you guys back a little more. I gotta turn my other projector and see what we're gonna get. So here, we've got the lights. Azim, lights. You know what's the whole thing about, that whole thing about having people that are on my channel, subscribe to my channel, that at the end of the day, can't stand me at the end of the day. But, as I said before, I don't see any other reason why for you to be over here at the end of the day, because number one, you can't give me dislikes, because that's canceled out. Can't give me comments, because that's disabled. So, the only reason why you would be over here is the fact that my channel is the only thing doing anything new. Every other channel you go to, it's just going to be the same nonsense. It's going to be the same thing. They got to do something other than projection in order to make the channel interesting. So, me, I can do projection every single day. There's so many ideas floating in my head to design so many different forms of projection screens and on different levels, different screen paints we can make and stuff that it's just not enough time in the day to show you everything. That's why we try to show you as much as we can in the videos, but it's just not enough time to show you everything. There's so much stuff that I want to show you. Right now, we're inside. Wait till we get outside. There's stuff we're going to be designing for outside. There's so much stuff we're going to show you how to build outside. So I can see why you're over here, because at the end of the day, honestly, the other channels are boring. Who else is building a mech controller in their room? Think about it. Yesterday, we put in a multi-screen. We got a portrait mode on one side, we got 1610 on the other side. You don't see that on any other channel. It's the same thing over and over again. They show the same screen or same projector, the same review on this, the same that. It's nothing new. Even the builds I see on YouTube are nothing. I'm not bragging here, but our builds are insane. Stuff we put together are insane. We're going to be working on a table and wall coffee table screen. So we're building that. So, like I said, you're going to see stuff over here that you don't see everybody build, and it's going to be stuff that you can do yourself. You don't have to be a carpenter or a professional, none of that. You can build it yourself. And you can do it by going over to, you can get your projectors at a cheap place. It's like all in one. We can show you where to get cheap projectors at to run the stuff. We have the formula to be able to run off the cheap projectors. It look amazing. And we can show you how to build and design and all kinds of cool applications you can use it for. So I can see why at the end of the day, why you're here at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, nope, I'm not removing any more subscribers. I'm gonna leave them just where they are. Because at the end of the day, hey, if that turns a hater into a person that may like me at the end of the day, then great. I'm all for it. If you find this entertaining, you enjoy it, then hey, I'm all for it. We got a lot to do, man. We got a lot to do. There's a lot of stuff going through my head, man. I got a grommet machine coming in. Oh yeah, and like I said, I can sew. So I'm gonna be going out to fabric stores and stuff. I'm gonna customize me a lot of freaking cool freaking screens for myself for outside and showing you how to do it yourself, so you can do it yourself. Because I get this from customers all the time. What can I paint it on? Well, let's show you what you can paint it on. Let's have some fun. All right, we're gonna show you how to paint through stucco too, because that's easy to do. But we did a stucco wall. I had my way on how I wanted to do it, but they wanted to keep it the same. But you can paint through a stucco wall. It's just how it takes some work to do it. Let me see what we're getting out of this. I need a surface. We got a surface in here. Where's that? We got that whatchamacallit screen. Whatchamacallit screen. Where's whatchamacallit screen at? Let me see. These are the chasers we're going to do right now. That's all the chasers. We got latches here and here, right? So you're just gonna fight me on that last one, you know. Now, I could cut these, but it's just gonna take too much time. And then my screen is about, I only need about a good maybe 2 feet for the sound bar and LED light when I put it. I can literally just build that into the screen if I choose to do it that way. But we'll see how it's gonna work out. I don't know yet. But we are going to be using, I already have my fabric here. I told you that one of the problems I do have with sometimes when it comes to a fabric screen is making sure that it lays completely flat to the surface. It's the flatter, the better. And what I found out, this stuff works pretty good. I need to put this right here because this is going to look over here where it's at. So the combination of using the acoustic material, which we have here, 2 ways this stuff can be utilized. You can put the invisible spray on it, which allows it to be acoustic sound can come through it like we're using over here, or you can use the, and mind you, I don't want people taking this to heart by saying, oh, you keep saying it over and over and over again. Look, man, at the end of the day, okay, his product matched it, okay? That's the end of it. We're not mentioning his name or none of that. So I don't want to hear the crying and whining about every time we mention this product that we're using to prime our screens. Because at the end of the day, that stuff made an amazing primer, which we're using. And I will continue to use at the end of the day and continue to give out the number of what it is. It's not being used as standard the other person anyway whatsoever. And if it was, at the end of the day, they need to do the test themselves to show at the end of the day it doesn't match the product. If not, then guess what? Boo-hoo, I don't have time for it. I got work to do at the end of the day. But we like that particular product. It works well and extremely well. So what we do is we use the, what's it called? The Network Gray SW773. Now I keep repeating that because at the end of the day, I'm always trying to get somebody saying, what was the number for that? Because I need to go order it. So we say it over and over again so you know it. So putting that on this fabric right here came out like glass. It was smooth. I loved it. I freaking loved it. So I said, look, when I do the other one, I'm gonna do about 4 coats. Now you can do 2 if you want. You could do, to be safe, I would do 2, but for me, I'm doing 4 because I noticed that every time I put a coat on, it got flatter and stiffer and tighter. Yeah, I'm doing 4 on mine. I may do 5. I may do 5 of mine. You know, like I said, once you do the first coat, it coats on pretty well, very, very well. It doesn't absorb a lot. It coats on very well. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to start doing mine. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. But yeah, I had a few people get mad already tomorrow. Oh, you're just doing that because something. No, we're past that. Did you not see me take the stuff and throw it in the trash? All right then, there we go. Move on. All right, let's get started. So once that gets here, our screws and stuff will be here. Or actually, we can build this frame today. We can't do the coating until staples get here. They won't be here until Sunday. So that we'll have to wait till Sunday to get that in. But until then, it'll give me a chance to see exactly what we got to size up in here to get started. Oh, man. So I need to retire sometime. I'm thinking about it. All right, let me see. Let's get all this bound up so we can get this stuff out of the way because we got to build today. Load it up in my driveway. In my driveway. In my driveway.
Looking for royalty-free music? Discover Epidemic Sound. Find the perfect track for
That's the acoustic screen right there. I was thinking about buying some UFOs for the setting up here, but I decided I'm gonna build my own UFOs. So like I said, I used to do my own mods for my PCs. I'm gonna build my own UFO setups. Some clear string and get the Kraken Jackson. We're gonna be making some UFOs out of some everyday normal stuff. Those of you that are basically PC modders and all that stuff like that, you wanna learn how to build your own props, I can show you how to design your own props with LED lights, 9 yards, all that goody stuff. So we're gonna need that precision cutting tool, and we're gonna need a soldering gun. So those of you who like that kind of stuff, yeah. So I decided, I saw some UFOs, I didn't like how they were designed. I'm gonna build my own, do my own setup and everything. Build a whole farm out of popsicle sticks, the whole 9 yards. It's gonna be pretty cool. So we're gonna do a whole different display of different UFO abductions all along here, and then we're gonna have like the paper up here, old-fashioned paper about UFO sightings and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing this section right here. But we're gonna build our own stuff. I gotta do so this channel is going to have a little bit of everything on it. I'm trying to do things a little different. I'm trying to make some of the videos short and sweet. Some are going to be a little longer. It's going to say caution, long video next to it, so you know from the door. It's going to be a long video. You can skip whatever you got to do to get through it, whatever. But sorry about that. So there's just so much stuff I want to show you. But like I said, we're going to be building some really cool stuff. And then for those of you like PC building, all this, anything we design is going to be involved with projection screens. So customize PCs, do some custom builds and stuff. There are going to be screens we're going to be building around it just for that. So I want to do something with I want to do something with that liquid projection screen formula we have. We have to figure out how to inject that into a screen. So that's going to be interesting. I have to get that built. So they're going to build a really thin screen like this, and we're going to be able to inject that formula into it. So you'll see it moving back and forth, but that'll be an actual physical screen. And then to get that to look interesting, we're going to get the speakers that light up the water. We're going to get build our own vegetable cool PC, which is the unit upstairs, which I got to reprogram for that one. That's what's going to be used designed for that. So I had to find a plastic shop that can make that for us. And then once we figure out how it's done, we'll build it ourselves. Chances are they're probably going to charge me an arm and a leg for it. All right, let me see what we got to do here. We got the little music playing. We need to get over here. I need to size up on my screen, so I need some material. We got to wrap all this stuff, get this out the door. Yeah, I'm going to play some of this music. I like this music. What else we got? What else they got on here? For their selection of music. They got anything else? I like that one. That's okay. What about this one? That one's better. Now, if you're wondering what that screen was there, that's an 8. Yep, that's an old 8. here for the time being. The floor protection screen, but like I said, these are portable. Once you code it with that formula, this is phantom technology on it. So once you code it, it's portable, take it where you want. Like that beat. OLED TV. That's a 720p projector I'm using right now. I tell people, the screen paintings that we had to receive the most hate are the ones that are most feared. That's why white
do you think they go after the Phantom like that? Why do you think they go after the 12s? Anything we develop black, they go after it heavy. That's the screen that's feared the most. Now this is a screen I just had on my floor. I can take it up and throw it up on the wall. I had the screen outside. I had this is one of the 150 inches we had outside. Screens usually they hate the most, or what they fear the most. That's why they go after the black screens that way. They hate them. Because the screen can do everything this screen can't do at the end of the day. Now we're in the max house going down here. Plenty of light. Screen's generating no problem. Later in the day I'm going up in the office. Enjoy my outside scenery. Do a little work on the computer. Do it for the environment. I like the black screens. Beep, beep. That music was good. I gotta go back to that. That was hot. Oh, we got a whole. Come on, remember that channel. I like this channel. I'm playing this from now on. I like this music. Notice we make a Phantom in a silver, we make a Phantom in a gunmetal, we make a Phantom in a deep red. They don't go near them screens. They go near the black ones. You know why? Because that's the screen they can easily mess with. They figure that at the end of the day, if they put black paint in and do the demonstration, who's gonna know the difference? But the problem is that I do things a little differently than they do. That's why we can come out and do demonstrations like painting on the screen. They don't match different shades of black, but they're black. We do all those crazy tests at the end of the day on the screens because it's not as easy as taking black paint and trying to say it's our product. It's very hard to do. But at the end of the day, we can take gray paint and you wouldn't be able to tell one from the other. So that's the screen that they'll mess with. And again, like I said, at the end of the day, the one screen that's going to get the most threat is that black technology. Because at the end of the day, when I have people saying, well, why do you need a black projection screen? Well, why do you have a black screen on your cell phone? Why are all the TVs you have now not gray, they're black? Your computer monitors are black. Even when you come to your VR glasses, they want that OLED black screen. So the same thing should come to your home theater setup. I like this music. Because you can't do this with a gray screen. Not in this environment.
upstairs to show you what you're missing. But like I said, when you deal with darker technology, white levels are always going to be a tad low, but it can't be too dark where you can't see the screen. The screen has to maintain a certain amount of white light in order to be able to pick up, especially when you're dealing with greater screens, the lighter gray screens. And as you can see, the screen's maintained with no problem. And mind you, this is on the floor projection screen. This is one I walk on all day long and run my chair back and forth across. That's why when you look at some high-end screens, you got the reflective surface. The reflective surface is to pick a white light. So even they know if you make a darker screen, it's going to basically drop in those white levels.
sign down here. I got another one saying powered by God's technology. I got another one down here. I'm gonna give thanks to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'm gonna put it right over there. See, there's a lot of my videos. Hurry up with this. For those you don't know, that's the tablecloth. Yep, we'll leave it at that. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the tablecloth. That's the fear tablecloth. When we gave the nickname the Raven, that's what that is. So, you know, we buy to test against our own stuff. I got a gray one upstairs, which I can't wait to test against the little screen. How did all of them right there? We got them all.
want high white levels, we have the gunmetal. For higher white levels, we got it in silver. Eliminate the base at the bottom. That's gone. And we're going to build our own stand. Now, our own stand, that way I can get rid of the soundbar. I can slide the soundbar in. We're going to do the whole background of it with that glow-in-the-dark fluorescent. It's going to go with the lights on it. So like the whole thing's all heated up, lights and stuff. We're going to do the whole back of that glow-in-the-dark fluorescent. We can put the soundbar back there. Maybe some equalizer display and lights, whatever. We're going to put an equalizer display so here, and we're going to have them running across the top. So I may put a couple of extra, maybe a little shelf area up there at the top. We're gonna put more lights in, because I want this thing to light up. Let me see. So, yeah, and we're just gonna bracket it to the wall right here. It's gonna be bracket here. It's gonna basically secure it to the wall. So it'll come all the way out from here, come all the way down from here, and it's gonna have a little piece at the bottom with the soundbar and all that in there. And I wonder.
making a collapsible projection screen too. Hinges, oh man, there's so much stuff you can do with big screen when it comes to hinges. You can make them collapsible too. We got some wire hooks here. Woo. Oh, that was just 1 out of a million right there. That was 1 out of a million. There's something over here for some hardware and I'm hitting my keyboard. So getting on some hardware, needed to put all this together. We need this upstairs. It's for hiding my wires and cables and stuff. This is gonna be for the projector we have on the wall. That hits that portrait mode. I was wondering where I had this at. So I clean that and stuff organized. We need this for the earphones. Bernie and Don World having fun. That's why I said let the haters hate. I'm gonna have my fun. You can watch me build. We're gonna need these right here too. This is definitely work. We need a couple of these. I want to take this upstairs to the big screen.
Okay. Everything's ready to go, everything's prepped. When they bring the equipment down here, we'll be ready to go. I'm going upstairs to the other room and play on that. I want to check out that screen real quick. The PS4. We're done down here for the day. Well, not for the day, we still gotta be down here to build the screen. Got my measurements. Okay. I'm gonna do some bake. I'm gonna bake a pie today. Haven't had a pie in a long time. Make me a pie. I can't stand store-bought pies. I don't like them. I mean, unless you're gonna spend the money, get the good stuff, then you know you're gonna get a good store-bought pie. But it used to be when I was coming up, you can go anywhere and get a good store-bought pie. It was hard to find a bad one. Now today, there's so many bad ones. You got to make them yourself. Crust is not even flaky. It's like biting into a brick. I haven't had a good apple pie or blueberry pie in a long time. So I'm gonna bake me a pie. So we're upstairs on the big screen. I'm gonna do some gaming on this real quick. I'm gonna see what you like. I'm gonna buy me a second PS4 for up here. I forgot we're doing Fire Sticks up here. I forgot what we want to do up here. Now I'll show you dual picture and picture on these. These things have dual picture and picture, which is pretty cool. Which I'm gonna do PS4 on one side, or you know, I can switch back and forth. I want to see what this was like on the big screen up here. There we go. Get you guys in there. Now there's going to be a mark right in here, right in there. That's from the projector. So when I got the projector, there was a mark, like a scratch in there, but that's easy to get out. I just got to get my lazy behind to get it fixed, because all you got to do is get some of that window scratch repair, takes it right on out with no problem. I just got to get off my lazy behind and get it done. So I want to do some Crash Bandicoot. Now this right here is different. This is the dark platinum blue. This is the paint I showed you when we first painted it out. Has that kind of bluish color to it. That's what this technology is. I was going to do the screen in black, but I got up here and I got the painting. And I said, you know what? I might as well just knock out the whole thing and just be done with it. And that's what I did. So that gave me enough time to get another screen done. Still got work to do in here for painting.
Fasten your seatbelts for a scene of recreation.
And we're going through, oh, soundbar is on. This is one I'm sure. Make sure it's sound in. I think this is one. I'm not sure.
kind of by the soundbar. Great in the soundbar anyway. Oh, shoot. Oh, come on, I got supposed to get that thing, man. Damn it. Back in the box. Come on, need some boost. Dang, damn it. Come back in the box. Well.
Perfect execution.
boost and rush to earn points for your team.
That's not gonna go well.
It does not look good.
Come on, Bert. Together.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh! I got wrong too. That's fine. That's best to just require. I like it. Yeah. No. Not that tutorial crap. Can't do that again. It's a nightmare. Tutorial is a freaking nightmare.
I'll show you twin mode. This is twin mode. Let's see. We need to run this through. I think we need oh yeah, we need an adapter for this. Let's see. Last place I had an adapter at. Huh. Should have been up here. No, we got one downstairs. No, the other one got downstairs. So we're gonna run Fire Stick and 2 twin modes here. Let's take this off.
Let's see. And we need an adapter to run the other one. Oh, I forgot. We don't have power for this one. Why do we have power for this one? Where's the power? Oh, it's going to the back of the issue. We're gonna need that there. Yeah, we're not here. Where you go at? Here, I think so. Here you go now. You're definitely not in there. Definitely have to be right here. So I'm just plugging the adapter. So now these adapters don't work with the PX system. You have to run it through Fire Stick only. All right, let me see. Fire Stick. Let's see where we're at in this. That's twin mode. So the thing about it is, you gotta have one of these to operate the twin mode. If you don't have it, you can't use it. It's unfortunate, that's how it's designed. You can't go in the menu, can't find it, you can only find it with the remote control. These particular remote controls are very hard to find, extremely hard. I found somebody who had one for sale, not sale, but they had the projector with the remote control with it, and they had it for like $250. If you jumped on it, you made good, you did good. You did extremely good, because they're hard to get. And you can't run twin mode without it. So some of the projectors that you'll get, with venue projectors, they have a lot of interesting options in them. The one I have downstairs runs 4 quad screens at the same time. But you have to have the remote controls with them. Some of them are not all the same way like that. Some are different. So that's the biggest that you can get in twin mode. Now, the one I had downstairs was the Christie 505. I can actually enlarge my screens. I can make them small. I can make them, shift them around the board, whatever I want. On here, you can't. You just have twin mode. So you can play 2 at the both same time.
So if I want to game on here, I can game on here. If you want to listen to this, you got to put headsets in for the other ones. But yeah. So you can adjust how big you want your screens, but no, we don't need to come out here. No, exit. Exit cancel. You can adjust, but on the 505, you can adjust how big you want them. I can make my screen small and stick it in the corner. I just blow it up. Make 240 inches, 250 inches, whatever you want. This one you can't. Now, if you look at them, right, one's running an adapter that converts VGA into HDMI, and the other one's running straight HDMI. Watch this. The adapters are extremely good. So, I'm going to adjust my over here. That's running the adapter through Fire Stick. And that's running through an adapter that converts a VGA into HDMI. And that's straight HDMI. Adapters are very good. I remember when adapters came out, the signal gain on, but they used to suck. Because it'd be clear on this side, be fuzzy on this side, but now they got them they got it down packed. So come over here. I like to watch my cartoons. I watch cartoons over here. And on this side, I can do a little gaming on this side. I got my computer on the other side over here. I got my computer on this side. So I'm just doing it here. Some wireless keyboard and mouse. Let me see. I was watching something, some fish on here. That's why I said all that nonsense about, oh, you know, product comes up too dark. It'd be virtually impossible. No way ready to run all these projectors off here for the environment. Now, as you can see on my computer over here, in order for me to work on my screen, the white levels are going to have to be crazy high. Because remember, I'm working on my computer. So if, sorry about that. Whew. If the screen came out as dark as claimed to be, there is no way in the world I would be able to read anything off the screen. Virtually impossible. That's why I say that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I always find it surprising that everything else works every place else, but when it hits a certain area, it doesn't work anymore. So it just shows you at the end of the day what people, you know, what individuals have been doing for a long time. It'd be virtually impossible for me to sit in my office, fully lit environment, and be able to work on my computer and see everything, the text, crystal clear, if that image couldn't produce a white level. But like I said, at the end of the day, we can back our products where they can't. So it just shows you at the end of the day that if we say it's gray paint, it's gray paint. We give them the option to back it up and they don't do it. It's like having a little mini screen. I'll sit for a minute. I'll watch some birds over here. Got some fish over there. I can bring the screen down so it's smaller. There we go. What do you ask at the bottom? We don't need all that. Put that out there. Here. Ryan, check this out. This is 720p, 600 by 800 res. This is what this is. That's the Chrissy projector. That's why I said this technology is designed to make older projectors, newer projectors look amazing. The projector I have behind me right here is the Sony DPL FA30 is full 1080p. Projector I was using on the floor, the big boy, the big display, that's 720p. So price tag in here, the one on the floor, $139. The one over there, $130, $300. That's it. That's what I paid for all three of my projectors.
Brace yourself for the coming battle!
really something. We got Sony on Sony.
Get ready for battle. Are you ready? Let's go.
Oh no, that nonsense. Look at that. Oh. Oh! Come on. All right, people, that was a long video. Sorry about that. This is gonna be, I'm gonna title this very, 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 very long video. So you might have something in the pop up say caution, long video, so you know automatically from the door. It's gonna be a long video. We had to do some prepping today. So let's see. Yeah, we're gonna knock out that screen today. I may be knocking out this room also too, because everything's done in here. I just gotta basically put it back to that original nice red we had in here. I had to clean it up a little bit. We got to install this projector up here, so this is not in the way. And yeah, I might get that installed today. Get this projector up here. Wire management galore. We got wire management down here. Over here, we're gonna put a nice, awesome Japanese display. We're gonna have a fountain. We're gonna have a zinc guard. Yeah, we're gonna have something really nice down here, really cool. And then over here, I'm gonna put in a shelf system here that can display all my toys and stuff, or retro toys. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice when we get it all done in here. So yeah, bit by bit by bit. But today we're definitely gonna be building the gamer screen. That's definitely wiring it in, building it, putting it up. I still gotta wait for the staples to get here so we can staple it down. Once we staple it, we get it primed, we get it painted, that's finished, and then hopefully we'll have that ready to go too. And then we can start working on the mech simulator. Will be next. All right, gotta go. Thank you all, and God bless and be safe.